Hello, romance readers. If you're looking for your next read and feel inspired by some of the books we've covered on Too Stupid to Live, be sure to check out TSTL's very own storefront on bookshop.org. Here, you will find a collection of books that the show has covered, as well as personal recommendations from me, Becky Feldman, the host of TSTL, who is talking to you right now. So rest assured, you don't need to worry about remembering titles or author names or having to go back into the episode catalog. Just head to bookshop.org/shop/TSTL podcast to view a collection of the books that the show has covered. That's bookshop.org/shop/TSTL podcast. Happy reading.
Mom and Dad, I'm growing at an alarming rate, and clothes you buy me this year will be very small very soon. But at least your wallet doesn't have to be my fashion victim with low prices for school at Amazon. Hope that helps. Amazon. Spend less, smile more.
Welcome to TSTL with a little extra spice, where the Too Stupid to Live podcast penetrates beyond the horny bookshelf to discuss romance-adjacent topics. And romance-adjacent topics to me means every subject ever, so expect things to get even more off-topic than they already do. I'm your host, Becky Feldman, and whether you are watching this on TSTL's Substack page or listening to this on your regular podcast platform, hello! I am so excited about today's episode. We are delving into the world of audio erotica. Now, I know plenty of you out there think that, anything where my voice makes a sound should be considered audio erotica, and maybe you're right. But today we are discussing two audio erotica apps, Quinn and Dipsea. And I'm so excited about today's return guest. Content creator, consultant, and coach Mindy is here to give us some of her recommendations. And she has some great tips if you're new to audio erotica and you don't know where to start. We have a great discussion about self-worth as well. I almost started crying at one point, but in a good way. And if you are an audio erotica fan, please, we need your suggestions. Feel free to comment on Substack or on Spotify, or you can contact the show with your recommendations, tstlpod@gmail.com, or you can message me on Instagram or TikTok. It's at TSTL Podcast. I would love to hear from you. So I will stop with this intro because I know, when you're listening to audio erotica, you just want to get to the spice already. So here we go. Please enjoy this discussion about audio erotica. Hey, baby.
Hi, baby.
Mindy.
Hey.
Oh, my God. Welcome to A Little Extra Spice with TSTL. How are you doing today? In the, general scheme of things.
I mean, aside from everything that's happening in the world, I'm great.
Yeah. Good.
How are you?
Good. I'm doing good. I feel like I did just get back from a trip, and so I'm kind of in what's reality, kind of do you know what I mean?
Yeah, where
what's
did
reality?
You go?
I went to Curacao, which is the Dutch Caribbean.
That's so cool.
I know, it was really cool. It was not accidentally, but kind of sort of won a hotel voucher there with my friend Courtney Davis, who I think you know, or she used to be a person. And so we were just there. We, kind of redeemed our voucher, and we forgot about everything that was terrible in the world. And then now we're back and just reminded that oh yeah, life sucks.
It feels like twice as worse once you go somewhere and then you come back.
Yes, yeah, especially when it's an island and people are all about easy living. You know what I mean? There's no hustle and bustle in this island. It's all just yeah. And then we come back here and it's oh my God, Trump's president.
Yeah,
there's that.
Easy breezy never. Yeah, couldn't be us at any time.
No, we are so fucked.
Speaking of fucked.
Oh, speaking of getting fucked. I mean, listen, I am very excited about this episode because we are discussing audio erotica, which I feel like is this huge booming thing. It's been so booming since maybe before the pandemic, but maybe it had a resurgence during the pandemic.
Sure.
Tell me how you are a romance reader, but how did you make your way into audio erotica?
Great question, Becky.
You're welcome.
My mom is going to love this episode.
Great.
So I am a rom-com reader. I am a smutty book reader. And I didn't pick those up until it was like a couple years ago. It was maybe like 3 years ago now. So I feel like I'm in my 40s. I feel like I was kind of a late bloomer. I talked about that on the last episode. However, I feel like there's the pipeline from reading smutty books to listening to smutty audios on TikTok is like so real. So
yes.
Of course I was on Book Talk. I'm not on TikTok anymore because of the whole Trump thing that they did. No judgment to anybody who's on it, but you won't find me on it anymore. But
totally understand.
I was getting a lot of audio erotica specifically for the Quinn app on my For You page because I liked a lot of Book Talk content.
Right, sure.
So I had known about it. I've known about the app for a while, and I was like, this seems like something that I would be interested in, but I just never really took the plunge until there was a creator that I followed on TikTok who joined the app, who became one of the content creators on Quinn. And I was just like, okay, maybe this is my sign because I like this voice. Maybe I should just check it out. Like there's finally like some kind of connection to the app now. So I did the free trial that they do. I don't know if they still do it.
Oh, they do. Yeah.
Okay, good. So they have a free audio that you can listen to, like a preview audio. And then they have a 7-day trial. And like after 2 days into my 7-day trial, I signed up for the year. I was just like, yep, this is my jam. I'm extremely excited to be on this new journey.
Yes, I feel like I am in the same boat. I found Dipsea before I found Quinn. And when you recommended Quinn and I did the free trial, and then today I'm just like, I'm fucked. I'm signing up for the year. Now I have 2 subscriptions.
One of us. I know. I'm still on my Dipsea trial because I downloaded it because you told me to download it. And I was just like, oh, there's definitely some things on here that are different from Quinn.
100%.
And I'm on the fence about signing up for the year. So we might both have 2 subscriptions.
And the thing is that there is a chance that like my parents are kind of accidentally paying for it. Cause there was like, when I signed up for Dipsea like 2 years ago, like I was on like, I guess my dad had done this thing with like with our phones of like, let's all connect on the same cloud or whatever. Yeah. And I thought it was like to send baby pictures or whatever to the whole family. And then all of a sudden, like my dad's like, so I saw this like, subscription purchase for this thing. And I was like, oh my God, if this was for Dipsea, I will like lose my shit. I think like I ended up like taking myself away from the family. I divorced myself from my family.
Gotta go.
Yeah, like I'm sorry. I need the app. So there was like a good chance that like my dad was like paying for like my first month of Dipsea, and then like I like was like, well, I'm gonna sign up for this. Like I hope my parents don't find out.
I love that story.
Yeah, they'll pay for me, like it's all going to his credit card. And he doesn't know. Well, he knows now, but like,
yeah. It's funny you say that because the first time, like my first Quinn subscription, I didn't realize that our Apple subscription was tied to our business card. So my husband and I have like we have an S Corp together.
Right.
And I didn't realize it until I was looking through like my credit card. I'm like, where's this charge? And then I had to go to him and be like, so we need to balance this out in the book because I accidentally charged this to the business. And then he's just like, do you want to create content about it? Like, do you want to be like an audio erotica content creator? And I was just like, not quite yet. But we'll talk to our accountant about it and see. No, we balanced it out in case the IRS is listening. I didn't.
They're always listening.
Aren't they? Elon, I balanced it out. Please don't come after me.
Well, listen, I mean, his sister is doing Passion Flicks or whatever, so maybe she's like,
Really?
Who knows? Yeah, you didn't know this? Have you heard
I don't
of
know
Passion
anything
Flicks?
about the Musk family.
You shouldn't. And I'm mad that I know about this, but I'm actually okay. I'm going on a huge tangent because I am right now feeling in between a rock and a hard place here because
Speaking of a hard place.
So Tosca Musk has this app or like this streaming channel called Passion Flicks, and it is basically taking romance novels and turning them into movies, right? And doing an honest job as to like not maybe shying away from the sexuality, making it very female gazy, or like getting rid of the male gaze. So they're adapting the Black Dagger Brotherhood, which is like a really big like vampire series. And so I was like, do I want to get a subscription now?
Oh,
but then I'm like, it's Elon Musk's sister, and like,
yeah, what are her views? Like, I need to know more. Yeah.
100%. And it's like, until she like full on like denounces her brother and just like calls her brother a Nazi, like I'm just like, I can't. And I'm not on my high horse. Like I do not deserve, but I'm just like,
it's a personal choice.
Exactly. Yeah. I just think for a genre that's so open and, like welcoming, what are her views? Can she please denounce her brother? And then I will watch your smut or something.
Yeah. Maybe send her like if anyone's listening, like, and is interested in this, maybe send like a strongly worded email.
Yeah.
Maybe she'll come out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know. It's really fascinating.
I want this for you though. Like if that's what you want, then I want it to happen for you.
Honestly, I just want the week-long trial and just to see how the movies are. Because chances are I'll probably prefer listening and reading.
Yeah, I'm thinking like, female gaze visual porn. Like, okay, there's going to be a small audience for that, but it exists.
Yeah. Well, back to this, like, I think like the audio of it all, like, is kind of, it feels like there's an ASMR kind of element to it. There's like a meditative element to it, as well as like this, like, sexual, obviously titillating element to it. And so I'm kind of like, without getting too deep into it, like, what was it about like audio in specifically that kind of like appealed to you?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like, I have watched visual porn and there was a part of me that was just like, I don't like this. And I wasn't sure if I was just like, am I broken? I think that's something that, and you said not to get too deep, but here we go.
Get deep.
And I think that there's just a lot of us, especially, again, I'm in my 40s. In that age range, I think there's a lot of us who grew up without any type of discussion about sexuality and positive sexual activity and, porn and toys and things like that. So I feel like there's a lot of us in this age bracket who now like the invention of smartphones and obviously apps, that we are discovering that there's not just traditional mainstream porn. There are other things that maybe work better. And to be very, very general, I know this is a very blanket statement, but men tend to be more visual and women tend to be more tactile, emotional, lovey-dovey, feely. Yes, so obviously, like, and again, please don't send letters. Like, I'm using umbrella statements.
Men are from Mars. No, I'm just kidding.
But it's true. They are.
Yeah.
But like, there is a biological difference for most people.
Sure.
And so I think the fact that, women tend to be more drawn to something that kind of stirs our imagination versus watching something visual. I mean, take out of it that most porn is unethical, abusive.
Right.
You never know what like the participants are involved with. So the fact that these apps exist, both Dipsea and Quinn and any other similar app, these are obviously parties that are consensual. They're being, we know they're being paid because they're being paid through the app. And so there's that level also that just like feels good. Like, oh, I feel good listening to this, knowing that like everyone is a willing participant and everyone got compensated, etc. So, I think for me, like going back to your very original question, like obviously there was something on those little snippets on TikTok where I was just like, oh, this is triggering something for me. Like, you know, same as when you listen to an audiobook or you read an audiobook and, you know, they say certain phrases that make your brain light up.
Yeah.
So, you know, once I listened to an entire story, I was just like, oh, okay, yeah, this is the thing that's doing it for me.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the one. It's interesting because like what I've been noticing is that like audio erotica is now kind of falling under this umbrella of self-care. You know, it's part of like women's wellness, which I kind of get, you know, like in my phone, in my audio erotica apps are in the same apps as my meditation, my same folder as meditation. So it's just curious, like, do you see it like that as a way, like it is a way to unwind, you know, aside from like the sexual, you know?
Yeah, aside from just using it to get off.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I think, I mean, like if I can just like share my own personal experience with it, and I'm sure that this will resonate with a lot of people, but, you know, I, again, grew up kind of sheltered, you know, watching visual porn, wondering what's wrong with me. And then when I started listening to audio erotica you can listen, the nice thing about it is that with these apps, there's a lot of different types of voices. There's male voices, there's female voices, there's non-binary voices, there's stories for trans people. So there's a lot that you can listen to and discover about yourself. And I think that is something that most women, especially, and men too, but women especially, we neglect about ourselves. We are traditionally put everyone else before us. Yeah. We put our partner before us. We put our kids before us. We put our pets before us. We put our jobs before, like our careers. Like it feels like we just never really get a chance to like stop and really explore that side of ourselves. And then for many of us, you know, there's religious trauma, there's, you know, any other kind of trauma that we may have experienced growing up, which women are more likely to experience than men as far as like a sexual trauma or a physical trauma. So some of these things can be really scary, but also really healing if you kind of find the right audio. And, you know, you mentioned like having it with your meditation apps and stuff. And I think, you know, there's some audios that, you know, we can talk about later when we start talking about our favorite voices and our favorite audios. But some of these audios have been so incredibly healing for me as far as how I look at my body in the mirror, how I talk to my husband, how I have now the strength to kind of like ask for what feels good for me, where before I was like, it just kind of doesn't matter. Like, I don't know, so it doesn't matter, you know? And so I think, you know, there's sleep aids. I think there's sleep aids and like meditation type stuff, affirmation type stuff on Dipsea as well, but there's a ton of them on Quinn. And I do listen to the app as a sleep aid many nights, whether it's a safe for work story or even just kind of one of my comfort erotica stories, you know, that I've listened to over and over. So I definitely think on many, many levels, these apps can be a form of self-care. And not only that, but like a way to heal parts of ourselves that maybe we don't even know we're broken.
Absolutely. I thought that is such a beautiful thing to say, because I was listening to one of the stories that you recommended and was like, it almost made me laugh, but then I was like, oh, it also like reminds you, like, it reminds you of what you deserve. It starts off with, he wakes you up in the morning and he's like, I put the laundry in the dryer and I made a pot of coffee for us. And I'm like,
let's talk about this for a second.
Let's talk about this. Okay. Yes.
Okay. So this audio, help. This audio is Morning Feels by Anonafun. And he is one of the original creators that was on the Quinn app back in, I want to say like 2018 or 19. It was kind of like right before the pandemic when they launched this app. And he was one of the originals. He was doing content on Reddit, I believe, and another platform. But Morning Feels is his most popular audio on Quinn with over, I don't know the exact number, but it's over 300,000 listens.
Mm-hmm. That's huge.
And it's huge. It's one of the most popular audios on Quinn. And the premise is so simple. Like when I tell men that the bar is so low for them, the audio is literally, he comes in, like you said, says good morning, tells you that he made first of all, he goes down on you.
Yeah.
And between that, he's like, oh, by the way, I made a pot of coffee. I started the laundry. I checked your schedule. You don't have anything that you have to do today.
Yeah.
It's all, I've been awake for a couple hours. I've taken care of everything. And it's just like,
hey, it's Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. Now, I was looking for fun ways to tell you that Mint's offer of unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month is back. So I thought it would be fun if we made $15 bills. But it turns out that's very illegal. So there goes my big idea for the commercial. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. New customer offer for first 3 months only. Speed slow after 35 gigabytes if network's busy. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
Sexiest thing in the world.
It really
is so sexy.
It's so sexy. Like all I want to like, please just wake me up. Tell me the chores are done. Tell me I don't have to do anything when I get out of bed, and then just like take my clothes off. Like
exactly.
It's so simple. It's so simple. Like I don't need a bunch of, and Anonafun has this kind of recurring theme in his audios because the guy just like knows women.
He does.
He does.
Like, I feel like something that I've noticed lately in books that I've been reading that have been like kind of like exciting for me to read that's really sexy is when the man asks the female, how can I help? I think that's the sexiest line and thing anyone can ever say to someone. And I think, and that's been on like the forefront of my mind of like, what do I want in a book boyfriend, you know? And that's exactly it. And I feel like the audios on Quinn and on Dipsea, you know, kind of embrace that of like, okay, we are writing this for an audience. This isn't just like, oops, people are having sex and we're accidentally filming them kind of thing, you know?
I mean, and there is, to be fair, there is a lot of that, and that's hot sometimes too. But yeah, the like competency kink that a lot of people call it, when it's just like a guy is just like, I took care of everything. Or it's, you know, acts of service, the love language. It's just like, hey, I took care of everything for you. You know, he has other audios where he's just like, where he wakes you up and he's just like, oh, I mowed the lawn. I made breakfast. There was one recently that he took a little break and then he came back. And at the beginning of the audio, he is like coming back from a run. So he works out. Sexy,
great, hot.
And you're just waking up and he's just like, oh, it's just about to cook breakfast, do you want some? And it's just like, yeah. Do I want a man to make me breakfast? Yeah, I do.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it's like you were saying, the bar is so low. It's
so low.
He's making breakfast for himself too. You know what I mean? It's his laundry also.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's, you know, it's this idea that for, again, being very generic, but for women, like everything is foreplay.
Yes.
It's like if your partner is not caring for you, not showing you affection, not caring, not like looking at your workload and saying, where can I help, without even, like you mentioned, like it's great when someone says like, how can I help you or what can I help you with? But like if they just do it and I never have to think about it, that's so much better.
100%. 100%.
So yeah, there's these audios, and it's funny on Quinn, and I haven't listened to Dipsea enough to see if you can kind of tell the difference. I think probably you can, but some voices are young, like you can tell they're in their 20s. And then there are voices like Dr. Rapture and Anonafun and Nadio who you can tell they're at least 35. Like you can just tell by their themings and their audios. It's just like, oh, these guys have been around women for a while.
Yeah.
Like they've lived with women. They either have wives or partners. I don't know, because we don't know who they are. But it's just like you can tell that they know what turns a woman on. And it's not necessarily just sexual acts.
Exactly. Yeah. It's really interesting because like coming from Dipsea, it feels like for me, Dipsea felt very much more performative than Quinn. Again, I only listened to so much of Quinn. I literally just started my subscription a few days ago. Where it's very much like whisper based. There's a lot more like kind of kissy mouth sounds versus Dipsea, at least in the ones that I've been listening to, where it is very like monologue-y, a little more like an audiobook. There's not a lot of, whatever. And I'm just like kind of like, okay, well, what is your preference?
Yeah, I think, I'm the opposite. And we talked about this recently where, you were listening to Dipsea and I was listening to Quinn. And so it was like, oh my gosh, this like podcast episode is just like writes itself where we try each other's apps, And the thing that I did notice about Dipsea is that it is more like audiobooks where it's a narration. There's a lot of, you said and I said and you said and I said. There's dual voices, which there isn't a ton of on Quinn. There's some. I feel like it's becoming more popular, but it seems like most of the content on Dipsea is either male and female voice or a female voice, or sometimes two males and a female. Hot. But that is kind of the difference. And it does seem a little more vanilla.
I hear you. Yeah.
So it's like, it's tamer. If we're comparing the two, it's tamer. So if you are into smutty books and you've listened to some audiobooks and you're looking for more of that, like Dipsea is going to be the app where instead of listening to a 3-hour audiobook for some spice, you're going to listen to a 10-minute story.
Right.
And get that spice. So, so it's, I think like, obviously there's a wide audience for that. And if you're just dipping your toes into audio erotica and you're not you haven't listened to any, or you just aren't really sure how you feel about it, then I would go with Dipsea first. I did the opposite. I kind of like jumped right in and I was just like, is this what this is? This is crazy. I love it. And so I just stuck with Quinn. I didn't know much about Dipsea until I did the free trial, but there's definitely pros and cons to both. And I like that they both have free trials so that you can listen to a few things and decide what you want. And we on this episode are going to talk about some of the favorites. Becky recommended her Dipsea favorites to me, and I recommended my Quinn favorites to her. And so I think it'll be interesting to talk about like how we see each other's favorite audios from like a different perspective. So
absolutely. And I want to talk about your audios because
we're going
you
first?
did mention you're going first. Well, we can go back and forth, but you were talking about Nadio. Is that
Nadio?
Who like, I think what else I really enjoy that Dipsea does not have is that there is the ability to comment, and it kind of like, it's clear that this guy has like a community. It is very, very fun to see the comments of like people writing like, oh my God, today was the worst day ever and now it's the best. It's just just reading it is so enjoyable to me.
Yeah. Some of the comments are hilarious. Like the Quinn listeners are really, really funny. I will say that I kind of like that Dipsea doesn't have a comment section. I think that it can be a double-edged sword a little bit. I think that with, when you have comments and there's a bit of a competition because people like your comments, and then some people can get swept up in that. And I just like that Dipsea is kind of like the audios are all anonymous, and not even anonymous, but it's just like characters. Like you can tell the same voice is doing different characters, but you don't really know anything about the actor.
Yes.
So they have characters and then there's no comments. So I think it really helps on the parasocial aspect that can pop up in these types of spaces. But that being said, the comments are hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah. And like also to, you know, given that there's like an element of like people, you know, chiming in, you can also become a creator on Quinn. Like anyone can do it versus Dipsea, where I know that they do have like auditions and you can submit and things like that, but you can't just like start an account like, you know, OnlyFans or something and just start creating content. There is like a process to go through.
Yeah, Quinn is actually the same way. They do.
Oh, it is. Oh, I thought anyone could like. Oh, okay.
No. They do. They definitely review new creators and.
Oh, cool. That's cool.
Vouch for them. Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Tell me about your next recommendation. It was somewhat. Who was it? I listened to it, and it was. Was it Dungeons and Dragons guy? No.
Yeah. So it was. Yeah. So okay. So
I loved.
Morning Feels is my number one, like my number one all-time favorite audio. And Anana Fun is definitely like my all-time number one creator. Love that character. The second one would be Dr. Rapture. Okay. And he joined Quinn just a little over a year ago. So he actually joined while I was on the app. Like I had the app and then this new voice dropped. And
you were there at the beginning. You were there when he was born.
I was.
No, that sounded wrong.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Sorry. But kind of like the character was born as a 30-something-year-old guy. So he dropped this audio, which was, Dungeons and Dragons theme, which I don't know anything about. But at the time, I was very, I don't want to say addicted, but I really liked the app. And I was listening to a lot of new voices to kind of see who do I like on here.
Yeah.
And so it dropped. The tags intrigued me. And the tags are like, it's kind of like when you're on like a fanfic site and they have different tags of what you can expect in the story. So the tags will tell you the elements that are in the story so that you can see if you like it or maybe it's something you should avoid. So the tags intrigued me and I listened to it and I was just blown away. Like the voice is good. The tone was good. The pacing was good. And one of my favorite things is when the audio focuses on the listener's pleasure.
Yes.
And the guy is just like, don't worry about me. Like, what a fantasy. What an amazing fantasy that is.
Absolutely.
I love it.
Absolutely. Because what I loved about that story was like, you know, you walk in on him and he's like drawing Dungeons and Dragons and it's like they make it seem like you're making fun of him, but you find it whatever. And he's like, okay, as punishment, you're going to let me do my favorite thing ever, which is going down on you. You know, and I'm just like, yeah, this is A+.
Yeah. Like, you talk nerdy to me and then I get to have an orgasm.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Like,
and I don't have to do anything. Like, ideal.
Yeah.
Ideal.
It is so ideal. So ideal.
I was like, this is a strong start from the new guy. And then this audio, I cheated a little because this audio isn't my favorite of his. But what I really, really love about Dr. Rapture is that his character does a lot of body worship, curve appreciation, and even beyond that, specific elements of a woman's body. He's done a story about stretch marks. He's done a story about cellulite.
That's beautiful.
There's and it's all these things that we normally look at ourselves and think like these are negative aspects of me. And then this character comes along in these stories and he's just like, no, don't be self-conscious of that. Like, and it's not just like, no, I love your cellulite. Like, let's move on. Like this guy does like a whole monologue about the texture and the feeling and the tactileness of cellulite on a woman's thighs. And I'm just like, Is my, like, I'm looking in the mirror and I'm like, is my cellulite attractive? Have I been wrong all this time? Am I?
And it's like, yes, you have been.
Apparently I have. Like, this one character is just like, no, I love it. It's great. I prefer it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And, you know, same with stretch marks. And he does, you know, like, there's a lot of curve appreciation audios, but Dr. Rapture will actually like use the word fat as
right.
a compliment.
Yeah.
You know, there was one line that broke my brain on one of his audios where he basically said something like, bend over and make your butt look as big as possible. And I'm just like, okay, like, normally we're kind of like trying to shrink ourselves. So it's just very refreshing and very sexy to hear a male voice saying like, no, do the opposite of everything you've been taught. Do the opposite of what society wants you to do.
Yeah.
Because I am hot for it. So there's a couple, if you're listening and you want to kind of explore this more, if this feels like it's up your alley. My favorite audio is My Venus, which is plus size appreciation. And then the cellulite one is Mrs. S Part 2, which I think is called Hotel Quickie. But both parts of the Mrs. S series are good. He also has one that I really love called Vacation Shopping. It's written by someone in the Quinn community, Carrie, who is an amazing writer especially for plus size stories.
Nice.
And so those are my favorites, but I didn't want to just like throw you in the deep end of just like the curve worship, because I
love it.
Yeah.
I love curve worship.
As like a medically obese person, you don't find a lot of stories that are written specifically for you. And he just does the body worship better than anyone I've heard. So
that is so great. Cause like, I feel like in the romance world, like you do have your kind of names for things like BBW and like Kerr, you know what I mean? Kind of like these like things that mean this, you know, and the fact that like being like a level of transparency is like sexy, you know,
like no, like just say fat, like I'm fat.
Yeah.
And it's fine.
Just say it.
Yeah. Just say it. Call it what it is, and it's fine. So I'm a big fan of Dr. Rapture. I mean, the guy is talented and is a great actor. And but aside from that, I just really like that element to his stories.
Totally. And like, here's another thing I like. I guess maybe I'm just like so blown away by Quinn that I'm like, okay, but Quinn, okay. But there's like an element of like spatial awareness. Like there were moments where it was like, oh, are you uncomfortable with your leg like that? Or like, oh, like laughing because you're kind of like losing balance a little bit. Like kind of like those moments where, I guess Dipsea has it. But it is so so edited, you know, like so perfect and so refined on that app versus this one where it's like basically simulating your dreams come true.
It's very, I mean, like the difference between the two apps is definitely Dipsea is basically like an audiobook where when you are reading an audio or when you're listening to an audiobook or reading a smutty book, like nobody, like you don't talk about like, oh, I got a leg cramp and I need to like change my position.
Yes.
Or, you know, like, are you okay? Am I like where the male character is like, am I too heavy? Do you need to like move? Let's readjust. Let's like, you know, if you want to flip over, it's just like, I grabbed her ass and I flipped her over. Whereas in the audio, it's like, it doesn't quite work that way. Like you need to, there's more. And again, I do think this also comes with experience because you can tell the older guys are the ones who are like, these are the real things that come up.
Absolutely. Yeah. Because I wonder if there's this fear, and I certainly, you know, have this fear of like just being unsexy during sex, you know, which is like we all have those moments. And it's like, I don't know, like, I guess maybe like in terms of like, not that I mean, when I was working on this like kind of romance narrative game and like writing the dialogue for it and just like, no, this isn't a slight against that world of like romantic interactive fiction, but there was a lot of things we couldn't say that was very realistic that they were like, take this out, this is not sexy, like like oh don't laugh here, she shouldn't laugh here, or like, oh, don't refer to this as that, you know. And it's like, well, what else? I don't know, like there's this fear of not look, it's like, and I don't want to call it juvenile, but it is something that I felt when I was younger. So there is a level of it being like,
well, and I also think this goes back to like traditional visual porn where these things aren't talked about. Like it's just the sex and that's it. I mean, and we're seeing with things like OnlyFans where couples are putting out videos together that it is more of like a real life scenario. Like you're dropping in on someone, you know, you're watching something you shouldn't be watching. And so that's, you know, that voyeur aspect of it. Whereas visual porn, you know, traditional visual porn, it's not real. It's not real life.
Right.
And so people who kind of like learn, especially men who kind of learn that this is what sex should be like, there isn't space to be real. Like there isn't space to say like, I need to move my leg. You know, and I've done that. I've been in the situation, you know, years and years ago, where I would be uncomfortable, but I didn't want to say anything because I didn't want to disappoint anybody. And I kind of just like, you know, wanted it to end. So I'm just like, I'm just going to be I'm going to be quiet. I'm going to like be attractive and just lay here and not like, and just ignore my own feelings.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And so I think there is, you know, but there's also a level of like, I mean, I've been with my husband for 20 years. We have a level of like real life and understanding where it's just like, hey, I need you to like get your like knee out of like, you know, like you can say that and it's fine. So
yeah. It doesn't detract from like the whatever you want the moment to be. Whatever you're aiming for.
Yeah. And there's things like going back to Anani Fun, like there's a lot of giggling. And I think that's super cute because you can just tell that the speaker is comfortable with his partner and that there's like an established relationship there, and he's just like, he knows he's being a little bit goofy when he's just like, I need you to take care of this problem for me, and then he like giggles like he knows he's being silly. And that's endearing. It's cute.
It's so endearing. And like it really is like, again, a separate experience from Dipsea, which I'll now get into. I guess maybe for me, I love stories. And what you were talking about earlier about how like, you know, maybe some people prefer like an emotional, you know, more sensitive kind of connection experience when it comes to their erotica. Like for me, I always saw it as like, oh, there are people who are creatives and they like a beginning, middle, and end. And maybe that is is emotional connection, you know, because like, oh, if it's a story, you are relating to a character, there is something emotional there. Yeah. So one of the first stories that I listened to on Dipsea was The Local. Because I love accents.
Do you really?
I do. I when I got the app for the first time, I was just like into accents. I find it very sexy when someone from the United Kingdom says the word cunt. Like I find that the sexiest thing in the whole world.
Specific. I love it.
It's very specific, I know, but I'm just like, yeah, like no one else, and it's like no one else can say it either. Like you have to be from the UK. I'm sorry.
Yeah, like it's an automatic DNF if you're American and you say it.
Yeah,
sorry.
Yeah, not from the UK. Like sorry, you're out. But like I think like what the app does is it's like, I don't know. I guess you can tell kind of that they've been kind of like experimenting with does this work? Does that work? And so sometimes you'll have like the dual narrators, or you'll have the ones which is more closer to Quinn, where it's like he's talking to you, like you're immersed in the story. But like with the stories that they included, just the fact that like there is the will they or won't they element to each of these stories. Like it kind of starts off with like, oh, I haven't seen you in a while, or like, oh, this, oh, that. And I'm like listening, like, I know, I mean, obviously I'm listening for my therapeutic thing, but I'm also like, well, is Killian going to get together with her in the end or not? Are they moving into his beautiful Scottish home in the woods?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, like, you know, like I said, there's definitely like a place and time and admiration for these types of stories. And I do like that the narrative format is really interesting. I haven't listened to a lot of stories with two voices together. So that was really, really fun for me to try that out.
Yeah.
And I did get into it. Like the local is, you know, about this American woman who moves, I correct me if I'm wrong, moves to Ireland. She rents a flat above a pub. And, you know, their very first chapter. And the thing that's fun about Dipsea is that there's chapters. So these stories can be like 20 chapters long, but each chapter is about 10 minutes. And pretty much each chapter has some spice in it. So you can listen, you know, if you have an hour before going to bed, you can queue up a ton of them and listen. But if like, you know, you only have like a 10-minute work break, you can listen to one chapter and do what you need to do. But so the first chapter is her, and of course, like it's I love how there's tiny tropes in each chapter because she can't get into her apartment, and she goes downstairs to ask the bartender how she can get into her apartment because she's the new tenant. And he's like, "It's me. I'm the owner." And I'm just like, like it's so obvious, but I was just like, I love it. Oh no,
it's so good.
She's gonna live above the bar, and he's gonna be there every night. I love it. So, I do have a complaint about one of the chapters, though.
Yes,
because we talked. If you listen to my last episode, we've established that unfortunately I am a Type A Virgo realist. So there was a chapter, Becky, where they go for a hike, and it starts raining.
It rains in every chapter, by the way. There's never not rain. Like the weather is terrible in that story.
Why is anyone moving to Ireland?
Yeah, it's just not sexy at all. Like I'm just like, this sounds miserable. I love this. Is my favorite. This sounds miserable.
I so love that this is happening to someone else and not me.
Yeah.
So they get caught in the rain. And he goes, "I know a place to go." So they start running towards the water. And there's this random cabin, and they break into the cabin, and she's just like, "Are we allowed to be here?" And he's like, "Don't worry about it." Yeah. And he lights a fire, and then they boink like on the rug in front of the fire. It's very weird, but I that's not my main complaint about this chapter. Okay. She before they get to the cabin, she talks about how her shoes fill with mud.
Yes.
And then she gets you know where I'm going with this. So then they get to the 100%. Cabin, and then she never talks about the shoes again. She's immediately like, "Oh, it's nice in here. The fires feel great. Can I give you a blowjob?" And I'm like, "Girl, with your muddy feet?
Yes, take a foot bath." Like that's what are
you doing?
Put your feet in the sink for a second. Wipe them off.
Yeah, like I thought about it the entire time. I'm like, is her shoes still on? Did she take care of them off camera, so to speak? Like it was so distracting. And I get it. So sorry. No, every time I listen to I read a book, I feel like I did this in the book too, but I was just like, this is so unbelievable. Like what happened? Like they just ripped her clothes off and then she just didn't care. And wasn't she cold? Hello? Yes. I can't I can't.
There was one of the final, I think it was their Christmas story that they put out in that series where Killian takes you back to his another cabin when it's raining. This is again. There's just cabins and rain. That's all. That's what this story.
And they all apparently are just open use. Everybody,
use. Yeah. So it's it basically is Christmas morning, and it's you kind of. This is the moment where it's okay, they're gonna be together, or you're gonna be with him, you know, whatever. So he wakes you up, and you have amazing sex, and basically, no, what happens is you meet him in the kitchen and he's like, oh, I'm just finishing, I'm not going to do his accent. Oh, I'm just finishing putting in cinnamon buns. They have to bake for a bit. And so then you go off into the bedroom and you have sex. And then like it ends with, again, very cute, very funny. The smoke alarm goes off.
Sure.
But that to me stresses me out because I'm like, the house could have burned down this entire time.
Listen. I would have never been able to go off to another room and had sex while there's something in the oven.
Thank you. Yes.
Unless it's like a roast that takes 90 minutes. There's no way. There's no way. And
there's no way.
That's the other thing about Dipsea is, the difference between Dipsea and Quinn, and why I think I'm more drawn to Quinn overall is these 10-minute stories. Becky, I need more time.
Yeah, they are very fast.
They're very fast.
Yeah, I will say, like, I find myself in situations where maybe this is me and I need to like kind of devote more self-care time. Like I need to give myself permission to listen to these 45-minute stories. I fully acknowledge that. But like I listen to them before bed and as I am falling asleep. Mm-hmm. And so like there's a part of me that's doesn't want to miss too much in case I am exhausted and will just like doze off in the middle, which has happened before. Like I sometimes have like with Wings of Winter, which is another one. Which is hilarious. I have to listen to each episode again and again, like starting incrementally, like at different points because I keep falling asleep. They're 20 minutes long.
I had the same thing. Listen, I'm so glad you brought this up because I was like going to be so ashamed to be like, this man's voice put me to sleep. And it's a compliment. Mm-hmm. It's a compliment.
He has a soft voice.
So soothing. Rowan. On Dipsea. Rowan on Dipsea.
He's great. And like, especially when he gets sexy, like his voice doesn't like, I mean, like obviously whispering and like the voices are meant to rile you up. But whenever I listen to him, when he's like getting intimate and vulnerable, I'm just like, this voice puts me to sleep in the best way possible.
Yes,
like he nails it.
It's amazing. It's amazing. Yeah. His voice is great. He's a great actor.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the type of story that's speaker to listener. So you are the character, although it's not you. You have a name and you're this fae or not fae. He's fae.
Or you're half. Oh, did I just spoil it? Well, you're half fae. Sorry. Spoiler alert. You're half fae.
I feel like I think it says that in the notes.
Okay. Yeah, probably.
Or they at least talk about it extremely early on. So.
Also, I could have dreamt that, and again, who knows?
No, it is. She's half. They call her a halfling.
Yes, halfling. Yeah.
So anyway, but yes, I'm so glad you brought this up. But that was actually out of the 3 series you recommended to me, that one was my favorite, and I think it's a combo of I do prefer the one voice.
Okay. Yeah.
I've learned that about myself. I prefer the one voice.
I love this.
His voice is very nice. Rowan's voice is very nice. And I do love, I'm an ACOTAR whore. Yes. I'm a sucker for the fairy realm, romantasy, if you will. And so I enjoyed the story and I at first I queued up like 5 of them and put them on before I went to sleep and I was out. I missed the entire beginning. I had to listen to it. I was just like, if I'm going to listen to these, I'm going to have to go for a walk, which isn't, it's fine.
Sure.
Let's get some exercise. Just your standard listening to porn while out for a neighborhood walk.
Listen, I have a friend who she's like, have you heard of this thing about Dipsea? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, yeah, no, I was listening to it when I was on my way to pick up my kids from school. And I'm like, she listens it on normal errands, like at the grocery store, driving, and I think with you can, and it's like I have to tell myself you're allowed to do that. You know what I mean? Like,
it's weird. It's weird. I will say that I started with going on walks because at the beginning I was just like, there's so much smut, there's so little time. How can I, get it all in my schedule? So I started listening to it while I went on walks, and let me tell you, extremely effective. Like for my ADHD brain, I can't listen to music. I typically listen to podcasts. So I replaced it with the smutty audios, and I'm just like, oh, I'm done. Or I did my route already.
Yes!
Excellent.
It's a real hot girl walk.
On the treadmill, on the exercise bike. I love it. Some people are like, I'd be too distracted, but it works for me. I tried listening in the car. I can't listen in the car.
Yeah, the car is tough.
Yeah.
I did one time. I think it was there's a new one that came out that's called, I even forget the name. I'm the worst. But it's like brand new. It's kind of like a dark, it's calling itself dark romance. I don't know if it is, but it's called The Hunt. Okay. And so basically you can tell there's like kind of like it's urban, like kind of like an urban fantasy thing. There's obviously something supernatural going on, or I'm confusing it with Yellow Jackets, which again could be the thing. They're having sex in the woods. But basically it's like, it's more or less a kidnapping fantasy, but it is like, don't worry, it's okay. Like everything's consensual, whatever.
Yeah.
It gets me going. And there was like one point where I fell asleep and I know that I missed something like really important. So I had to listen to it like driving the other day. And I'm like, this is weird, but I need to be awake.
I have to find, I have to find out what happened.
Yeah.
So did you make it through your drive?
I made it through. Yeah, I made it through the drive. It was very weird. And then like when I arrived to where I was going, I like put on like Spotify just in case, like, because you know how sometimes when you turn your car and your phone's attached, like something will start. This happened to me too many times. And so I'm just like, okay, when it starts, I know Spotify's gonna play, not this fucked up like kidnapping fantasy.
No, that
anyone would be there.
Yeah, that happened to me with my husband once, like early on when I first downloaded the app, and he knew I was listening to it, but I wasn't even playing in the car. I just had the app open on my phone. So when I plugged my phone in, CarPlay just like put this audio title on my screen. And I was like, don't mind that.
Yes.
Like quickly. So now I'm like, whenever I listen to it, I'm like, make sure I close the app completely when I'm done.
Yeah.
Just in case. I don't know what's going to happen. Like, I have fears that I'm going to walk into like the dentist office and it's just somehow going to connect to their audio and the whole office will hear it. Yeah.
There are times where I'm like, I'll be like pulling into a parking lot, right? And you have to like take the ticket and there's like someone there and I'm listening to, what was it? I was listening to like the Kiss Quotient and it was like the exact moment where I was like, this is the sex is happening. He's saying the dirtiest things that this character is hearing and you feel it, and just like the person, the ticket taker, like looking at me and me just like struggling, like to be like,
like how does my car function?
Yeah, like it just, and like this guy is looking at me like, what's going on? And this is all to just not let him know.
You're like, I'm definitely not listening to porn in here, sir.
And that's it. The first thing I did when I like rolled down the window, I was like, this is an erotica.
Yeah, I don't know how people like listen in the car. I'd be too paranoid. I did listen. I've done it while listening, I've listened while going grocery shopping a couple times.
Yeah.
But even then I was just like, I don't know. I don't love this.
Yeah.
So.
I listen while cooking or cleaning, because I don't like chores in general. And I will say that like numerous times I'll be listening to something while cooking or cleaning and I will walk into something and not notice it. Like I walked into my trash can multiple times, like listening to some vampire thing and just like the trash hilariously falls over. Like,
vampire thing. No, like chores is good. And Nadio has an audio called Praise for Days where it's just him like calling you a good girl for an hour.
I want to ask you, like, if you could pick like 3 elements of like what to you makes your like ideal audio, like, you're looking like what I guess maybe what I'm asking you is like when you're looking at the tags in Quinn, like what are the main tags that are like, okay, I'm going to listen to this?
Oh my gosh. Well, so my favorite trope is friends to lovers. So any friends to lovers story, I will listen to. It depends on my mood and my menstrual cycle, like where I'm at.
Yes, of course. 100%. Yep.
So
Yep.
I definitely I tend to love a good M sub.
Mm-hmm.
Like I love like a male voice that's very like desperate and whimpering and begging. Yeah. I love like, like yes ma'am, give me like some yes ma'ams all day. So that's super fun. Honestly, it's probably more what tags I won't listen to.
That's again, totally, I get that 100%. Yeah.
Like I definitely on the Quinn drop days, I go through the list and there'll be something that's super promising. And then there'll be a tag that I'm just like, oh, well, that's going to take me out of it and I can't listen.
Yeah.
So, even though I love all the other tags. So for me,
totally.
I am not a fan of Daddy.
Yes.
Which is weird because I gave you like a Daddy.
You did give me a Daddy one.
But we can talk about that in a second. But
totally okay.
I'm not a fan of Daddy. Like immediately takes me out, which is so sad because some of my favorite voices have some Daddy audios and I can't do it.
Right.
I am also not a fan of butt stuff.
Okay.
Like I just don't, it's not my thing. It's not my thing in real life, and I don't like to listen to it in audios either. So
it's not something that I'll like. If I see it as a tag, I'll be like, "Oh, I have to listen to it." You know what I mean? Like it's definitely. I'm like, "Oh, okay, there's butt stuff. What else is out there?" Yeah, for sure.
But if that's like the main theme of the audio, I'm probably gonna skip it.
Yeah.
Other than that, I'm trying to think. I feel like those might be like my two tags that I really look out for. But I think that Quinn does a fairly decent job of tagging. Oh, the other one is breeding. I don't like it.
It's I'm a no. I need to work on I need to work on this with myself because I love it and I also am ashamed that I love it because I think it is
don't be ashamed.
There's something shameful about like I am someone who doesn't want to get married or have kids, yet I love when someone's like, "That's mine." You know what I mean? And I will be using that as a vessel to procreate. Like, like that's insane to me. Like, what does that mean?
I think that's totally fine.
Yes, you're right. I
think that's totally fine. Feel free to talk to your therapist about it if it's really bothering you.
Yeah, I know.
I think that's totally fine. And I think there's an element of, like you said, it's the possessiveness. Yes, it's the, someone is so attracted to you that they want to like make a baby with you. I totally get that concept. Just not for me. Like, I don't want to hear anybody talking about like me getting knocked up at all. Ever.
Yeah.
It's not what I want.
It's so weird. It's because like I feel like it's something that's like, okay, because like in my brain, like if this were real life and someone was like, I can't wait to like knock you up, I'm gonna be like, oh god, my feet are gonna swell up and like, do you know what I mean? Like it's like I hear it so bad.
I hate the idea of that.
My lower back is gonna be so sore. You know what I mean? Like I'll be like thinking about that. But then when it's like a book and it's just like my DNA is gonna mix with your DNA and we're gonna like the world will never be the same.
This is doing it for me. I definitely think there's a difference between that. And that's
100%.
But for me, so that would be one. Do you have tags that you are just like a hard no on?
Lately for Dipsea, I am weird about the just moaning audios.
Okay.
Just because I love an accent and you can't really you can't moan in an accent. It's like singing, like it's just like you don't know if they're British or not.
More British moaning.
Yeah, like ooh, like I don't know, like milady, like I don't know. That's not moaning at all. That's just me being terrible.
No, I love it. No, you're right. Like you're right. You can't tell. I feel like the men of the world need to kind of like work on this a little more.
Exactly. Yeah. And I know that just based on my Instagram algorithm and other people who I know who listen to Dipsea, I know the moaning is like it's like their most popular one. And like, and for me, I'm just like, well, I would need to like, I just want to like hear a I want to hear compliments.
You're like, I need my praise king.
Yes, I need praise king. Yeah.
Yeah. I fully understand that. I was looking at that on Dipsea, and I think that it's an interesting option, but I don't think it would do much for me either.
Yeah. And I I have listened to them before, and I can see how they would serve a purpose, but I'm just like, oh yeah, no, I do. I just feel like, oh, that's for a different, it's almost like, when you're trying to find a self-guided meditation, it's like, well, do you want someone to talk to you the whole time, or do you just want music? And I'm just like, well, I want someone to talk to me the whole time.
Yeah. Otherwise my brain will just go somewhere else. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. I'll start thinking about oh God, what do I have to do tomorrow? And then there's just some British guy moaning, and I don't even know he's British.
Tragedy.
Real tragedy.
What a waste of a file. I definitely the thing that struck me when I was listening to Dipsea is the lack of sound effects compared to Quinn. Quinn is really, really big on the sound effects, and I realized listening to Dipsea that in order to get me going, I need the sound effects is at least 50% of it.
Got it.
For me.
Yeah. That was what blew me away about Quinn, was the sound effects.
It's a lot. If you're not used to it.
Yeah.
It's a lot. Yeah.
I feel like my body is very sensitive to sound, and I get tingly very quickly, and just so it's like when I was listening to it, knowing I was going into it, knowing these sound effects would be there, and knowing that my body would react this way, because it is this a stimulating thing. I ended up really enjoying it a lot more than I expected. I wasn't there was one free trial for a different one that it was the first time I ever listened to it, was not expecting the amount of you know what I mean? Kind of the just the
squishy,
loud, squishy, slurping things. And I was just this is it was making me laugh, because I just kept picturing the Foley artists, what they were doing to make these sounds work. And but knowing what it is, and going into it with that frame of mind, I'm okay, now I see it. But yeah, for sure. I feel there's probably some people, there's a while where I could not stand the sound of someone whispering. I didn't like the way it made me feel. But knowing that someone is going to be whispering and it's going to be complimenting you, I'm yeah, I'll go for this.
Yeah. I will say that on the Quinn app, there are voices that I really, really love. I love the sound of their voice. I love their storytelling. They're great actors. But the sound effects just are bad, in my opinion. And I'm the same way. If the sound effects aren't, if they just aren't hitting, then it's not, I start laughing, and it just takes me out of the moment. So, and I will say, even with some of my favorites, sometimes the sound effects get a little too intense, or they're a little too loud over the dialogue. And, I expect perfection, of course. So,
sure.
But I imagine, as someone who is not in this creative field, I feel like a lot of these creators they're just a one person production studio. So they're trying their best. They're experimenting. They're trying new things. I've heard interviews with a couple different creators where they talk about going to stores and squishing things to see if it sounds like something that they can use,
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So I feel there is a lot of trial and error, and some sound effects are going to be good. And I definitely know there's people who don't like the same creators I like, because they don't like their sound effects, or it's too much, or it's too little. So yeah. And I think that's why I think it's good that both of these apps exist, because they served somewhat different audiences. But even within the apps, you have different levels of stories, of different tags, different types of voices. You know, they have the accents, and so does Quinn. And you can kind of choose, you can sample. So if you don't like something that someone recommends you, you can listen to something else and find the thing that you like and just kind of stick with it. Like Quinn is very overwhelming. They have dozens and dozens and dozens of creators.
Yeah,
and
they have way more, I think, than Dipsea, it seems like.
Maybe. And it's just like, it's too many. Like you can't listen to, if you're listening to all of them, God bless you. Like no judgment, but it feels like too much. So like for anyone who's maybe just trying these apps out and they feel overwhelming, like stick to one or two voices that you really like. And then you can delve kind of into other ones and see what you like. And look at the smaller ones. I don't know if Dipsea does play counts.
I don't know. It really doesn't. I don't remember seeing it. No. Yeah.
So like my recommendation to people is to try out some of the, creators that don't have many listens. Because you might just find someone that like really resonates with you and it feels great when that happens. So
absolutely. I mean, it just goes to show you that like these apps are just showing that everyone is different. Our preferences are all different. We're all so nuanced. And so like, I'm glad that they exist. I'm so glad that they exist.
Yeah. Can we talk about the Naudio Daddy audio that I recommended to you?
Please. Yes.
Okay.
Because he does say daddy. It's very interesting. It was interesting that you recommended it. Tell me more.
Okay. So the reason, again, this is not my favorite Naudio story.
I will say I liked it because you use a safe word in it, and the safe word comes out, and I was like, cool. Okay. Yeah. So that's why I liked it.
I really like Naudio as a creator. Some of his stuff is really, really good. He has a really good audio that I recommend called Dark Secrets, where the storyline is that he recorded an audio, but it actually didn't record. And so he got very frustrated. So he touches himself in his recording studio while talking about all of the like dark, dirty, like things that he wants to do to you. It's very hot. It's extremely hot.
That's sexy.
But I recommended this one, which was, I think, Don't Be Shy.
Yeah.
Is that the name of it? Okay.
Yeah.
So I recommended this one because it's a great example of consent.
Yes.
And it's a great example of communication. So the storyline of this is that this is you and the speaker have been in a relationship for about a year, and the listener, sorry, I try to use speaker and listener so it's not like me and Naudio, because that's weird. There's enough like parasocial stuff out there, and I totally try to use language that doesn't, add to that. So the listener tells the speaker that she wants to kind of like try things a little more rough. They've been kind of vanilla up until now, and so it starts this conversation, which is obviously it's just the speaker with you as a listener. But he goes through these series of questions, like what exactly do you want? Is anything off limits? Let's establish a safe word. And even during the audio, there's a few check-in points.
Yeah.
Where he's like, are you okay? Can we keep going? And then he kind of gets back into character. And I think that this is such a good audio. And this is actually a whole series. I think there's maybe 4 of them in the Don't Be series. And I think these are great audios to actually share with a partner.
Yes.
If this is something that you're looking to explore, but don't quite know how to word it, as long as your partner, is comfortable with you listening to audio erotica, like they're aware of it, and like obviously don't like surprise.
Listen to the song. Wait, what is this?
But I think for anyone who is comfortable enough in their relationship to do that, but doesn't know how to bring it up, this series of audios are really, really a really good example of that. I just think he does a really, really great job at it.
Yeah, I completely agree. And like, I think what blew me away about it was he's very vocal of like, well, yeah, I was holding back because I was afraid of what you would think. Just that level of vulnerability, I think, is was so touching and so real,
so real, but also like, again, fantasy, because most partners don't know, they're bad at communication. They don't know how to talk about these things. So Don't Be Shy was the first one in the series, which is why I recommended you listen to it. And then there's one called Don't Be Late. And then my personal favorite is Don't Be a Brat. So it's just kind of like,
I gotta listen to that.
Yeah, the brattiness of it. And that one's really good. And then the fourth one was a fan favorite. It came out during Halloween time, and it was called Don't Be Caught. And he wears like the ghost mask and chases the listener through the woods, like serial killer style, role play serial killer style. That's hot. Very, very hot. Very hot. So, and again, it's the same. The idea is that it's the same couple. It always starts with kind of like communication and consent and establishing boundaries and everything, and before the role playing begins. And so it's a great series. Nadia is definitely he's also currently, at the time we're recording this, he has the free audio that you can listen to. I think called The Library. I think it's still, I can't see it because I, pay for the app. So I can't see the free trial anymore. But so he's definitely the most popular creator on the app, and you can tell why. He's he's a great actor. He does great sound design. His stories feel very female gaze. And he tackles a lot of different tropes and different communication styles like that. So huge fan. Thank you, Nadia.
Oh, thank you, Nadia. What if it was like someone we knew, like it was just like the person who lived above me or something, like just doing this the whole time. And I'm like,
that would be crazy. I do try, like, now that I've listened to this, and, I know that there's a lot of Quinn creators who live in Los Angeles, where we both live.
Yeah.
And I'm always just like, no one that I listen to frequently, but I'm always just like, every now and then I'll be at a restaurant and be like, do I recognize anybody in here? Who's the person in here who's amazing at audio porn? Like, it's the person you least expect.
100%. Like, I just remember just going to this like panel on like doing voiceover work. And again, this is like cartoonish voiceover work, not like audio porn, but like just like thinking about like how like at other panels, how other actors are just doing themselves up and like had haircuts, makeup, this, that, and just how like the voice actors are just like showing up with just like hair, like completely in a great way, on like disheveled, and just like didn't shave, like, this and that. And I'm like, yeah, you're a voice actor. I get this. But then they would speak and you'd be like, you know what I mean? And, like, you pay attention.
Yeah, totally. Like it's definitely a different world from like the from just like regular on-screen actors. And it's also like, I would prefer it that way. Like, I'd prefer the voice acting.
Yeah.
I don't wear makeup. I can't be bothered.
No, and it's just like, I don't know. And also like the fact that a lot of them record from home, which is like, I don't know, there's something very sweet about that, of just like, oh, you're in your comfort zone, so you must feel really comfortable. Like, you're not in like some weird cold studio where like there's a person looking at you, know what I mean? Like,
yeah. It feels very organic. And I feel like, the three creators that I mentioned that are my favorite, like all of their audios do feel very organic and kind of like slice of life, like these situations that can just like pop up between you and a partner, or even the ones that are a little more fantasy, like, strangers meet at a restaurant or at a bar or at the grocery store or whatever. Like, even then they make it kind of seem like this could actually happen to me.
Yes. Yes. It seems very real. Like, as crazy as they are, there's like a level of like, oh yeah, we're human beings with desires and needs and vulnerabilities and stuff. I totally get it. Yeah. Like, it's so real, it's unreal, you know, and it's like, oh, I wish we all could get to that level.
I know. And again, it's like I joke about like all of these things being a fantasy because like what guy really is gonna like make you coffee and breakfast and get the laundry started and then, you know, ravish you before you have to get out of bed. But like,
exactly,
it should be happening to all of us.
Sure. But and the thing is that it's just like I would never do that for another person.
I
know. What are you fucking kidding me? No.
You're so right, bestie. Like it's
like, are you serious? Like I like on a Saturday morning I'm getting up first thing.
If I woke up 2 hours before my husband, I would be so pissed. I would be like, you lazy, what are you doing? Yeah.
No, I'd be like scrolling on my phone. Yeah.
This is why it's a fantasy.
Exactly. Because it's like the best people and our best selves and like, you know.
Yeah. But you're absolutely right. Like there's no way. There's no way.
No, absolutely not. Yeah. I'm too tired on a Saturday morning. We're sleeping in. No.
Yeah.
I had a tough week.
Yeah. But totally. And the thing though that I have learned from these audios is, you know, on more of like a sappy sentimental note is because I listen to these audios and like, I pay attention to how like when a voice actor says like, I got the chores done, like now when my husband does get things done around the house, I kind of like look at it in a different way. And I'm like, oh, you know what? That is hot. That, you know, it's reminding me of the thing from my stories. Wait, he's doing it. He's doing the thing. Like, oh, okay. Like, yeah. Like I feel like I appreciate it a little more. Like nothing's changed. Behavior hasn't changed. I'm just like, oh, that's, you know, he did clean up after dinner. I'm going to bank that away.
Exactly. It gives you a new perspective.
It does.
You know?
It does.
Yeah.
It does.
Because like, I think if because like, you know, reading like articles about people's experience with it and a lot of them saying like, oh, it helped me realize what I like, you know, like what I, you know, and asking for what I like. But then it's like kind of, it seems like it can also help you realize what you like that's already there. You know what I mean? That like already exists. It helps you kind of like look out for it.
So I think that these audios can really, you know, not only is there like the self-care element and like the learning about yourself, but I mean, honestly, like I feel like I always feel dumb saying this, but I feel like starting to listen to these stories has just like improved my life in every possible way. And I think it's because I have a better connection with myself. I have a better connection with my partner. And it just, you know, having those two improvements kind of makes everything else a little easier. I don't know if you've like 100%. Noticed that like after, you know, really starting to get into romance books or listening to Dipsea, if like the self-care of it all translates to every other aspect of your life.
Yeah, like it kind of makes you it helps you realize to know like that like you are valued. I mean, it's interesting because it's like for some time like I feel like I have that perspective because I'm just getting older, but like I think it also is well when you age, you also are experiencing part of my life experience is reading a shit ton of romance novels, so that like all has to do with it, you know. But just like knowing that like I don't know, I'm kind of like all over the place right now, but like just like kind of just knowing that like you can define what's sexy for you, you know, like just like kind of and that also can kind of go further in saying like you can make your own, like you choose your own values, you choose your own life, you know, you choose what's important to you, and just like the pleasure and the sexiness of it all is just like one kind of like tiny aspect. And just like realizing that like, oh, you're valued, you're important, like there's no, I don't know, like test you have to pass in order to like this or like that, you know, like you are valued just because you exist, you know. And so yeah, I think romance and audio erotica like does have a lot to do with it, just because it is so it is the idea is taking time for yourself, which is such a like radical thing to do.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And so yeah, absolutely.
Oh my gosh, yeah, totally. Like, I mean, we're, you know, you and I, we don't have kids, but like, think of, you know, all of my friends who have kids and how little time they have for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And you can totally understand why women, mothers, tend to just put themselves last and put this type of self-care last. So it's just like, oh, if you can find 10 minutes to listen to a Dipsea story, or 30 minutes, 20 minutes to listen to a Quinn story, you know, listen to enough of them, especially the ones with compliments, and you'll start to believe it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then it's like also like being like, it's not even just like the fact that like you don't need to earn it either. Like you don't need to like be like, you know, kind of like not taking care of yourself all day to get those 10 minutes at night to like reward you. I mean, do whatever you want, live your life, but like there's no one like saying like, I don't know, like there was just like a time where I felt like I had to look a certain way or do a certain thing or accomplish a certain thing in order to be able to like earn, you know, the doing stuff that I like, you know, like no, you don't like. And I even felt that way with like writing comedy and like writing my own stuff, you know, of just like, oh, well, I have to like have the day job and do shit for other people before I can like do anything that I want to do. And I think it's the same thing with this of like, okay, do I have to like exercise for my allotted amount of time and go to work for my allotted amount of time in order to like earn this allotted amount of time?
Yeah, totally. And I think that on that same, you know, line of like earning it, you know, there gets to be a point in, again, speaking generally, but in a woman's life where they look at everything that's happening around them in society and it's just like, well, I am not a desirable person anymore. Like when I gained weight, because I mean, I first started gaining, I was very, very thin. I first started gaining weight when I went on antidepressants. And I was just like, well, I guess I'm just not a desirable person anymore, because society has taught us, especially me growing up in like, you know, 1990s diet culture when I was a teenager, that if you're not thin, then you just really don't have a place in society. And then, you know, couple that with turning 40 and just like, oh, I guess, well, there's no more hope for me. Like, you just kind of like give up on that because you don't have any examples of someone telling you that you are sexy. And, you know, like my husband will tell me that I'm sexy, but I'm just like, you have to, you know, I have this mindset of just like, required. What are you going to say? Yeah. What are you going to say? Yeah. Like, but you know, like I stopped getting hit on at bars. I wasn't, you know, checked out as much as I used to be. Like as women, we can like sense these things are happening, and it plays with your mind a little bit. So then you have these stories that you listen to during your self-care time. And, you know, again, I joked about it earlier, but like you listen to these voices telling you that you're beautiful, that your curves are sexy, that, you know, that they love. And, oh, did we even talk about like the older woman, younger guy trope? Because that's also one of my favorites. Especially now that, now that I'm at this, you know, the age that we are.
Right. Yeah. And especially now that like there's so much, well, I mean, like I'm just thinking of that Nicole Kidman movie and like, you know, the other kind of thing of like young men helping older women realize their sexual, you know,
get our groove back.
Exactly. And it's so funny you say that because like, or like I relate to a lot like what you're saying. Like I feel like, you know, my whole life I know that I've never fit the mold, and I always felt like, I mean, you know, I was undesirable. I didn't have the right look. I didn't have this. I didn't have that. And then you kind of just like, I don't know, as you get older, like realizing like, okay, like like it is all a matter of opinion, like beauty's in the eye of the beholder, whatever, that bullshit. But like also like your opinion matters. Like you are on this planet just like anyone else who is on this planet. And you know, like sure, there are people who are making more money or who like maybe more eyes are looking towards them or whatever, but that doesn't mean like you're any less important than like what's the scale here? Do you know what I mean? Like what's the scale of beauty? What's the scale of importance? And it's like, oh, sometimes like just having like a story where someone who is just an everyday person is just number one, like kind of reminds you of like, oh yeah, it is all about perspective, you know?
It truly is. And that's something that I'm working on as I get older, just in like, general life, is just like unlearning everything that we've been taught by, society, by our parents or whoever helped raise us, by what, TV ads, social media ads, like everything that we're bombarded with every day is just not necessarely reality. Like you create your own reality. So like I also was like the person who just like, I'm never going to fit like the mold of like the standard beautiful woman who's just desired and everyone loves them and whatever. Like I don't have that.
Right.
I don't have that look. I don't have those features. I'm just me. And it's always been like a negative. And now I don't think I would have been able to do the work to unlearn all of this stuff if I wasn't also listening to these stories on the Quinn app. I think that it's been just immensely helpful to just even, listen to stories. It sounds so cheesy, like when you say it, but just like listen to stories where you get compliments and you're told you're beautiful and you're told that you have a sexy body. And like, the realist in me is just like, you don't know what I look like. And he's saying it to everybody. But again, you listen to it enough and it's just like, okay, maybe I am beautiful. Maybe these stretch marks aren't as bad as I think they are. And then when I talk to my husband about it, he's just like, yeah, I've never once thought about your stretch marks. Like, it's just like, but I think about them every day. That's like, how is that possible? And you realize that it is all in your head and it's not reality outside of your own brain.
And you can also change the rules. Like you can change the rule. Like you can be like, well, you know what? People who don't have stretch marks are ugly. And like, I can believe that. And I can make that truth. Like I can make that a truth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not that I would want anyone to feel bad about themselves, but you know what I mean? Like,
no,
it's
but
just,
you're
like,
right.
kind of
Like who decided? Like who decided stretch marks were bad?
Yeah. Like what if I was like, you know what? I like them.
Yeah. Well, Dr. Rapture likes them.
Dr. Rapture loves them.
So let's all take a lesson.
Yes. This was so inspiring. Oh my God. Like it really, because I just turned 40 last month and, obviously like I've been going down like the, like, what am I doing? I don't even know. I mean, but just like also there is a level of like freedom, of, I'm trying to putting my finger on, trying to, understand it myself. But I know that like romance has a lot to do with it. I know my life choices has a lot to do with it. I know this has a lot to do with it, of just like, okay, like I really like these rules that I thought existed that like dominated my life. Just I can just say no to them, and that's really freeing.
It's very freeing, and I feel like for me there was this sense of like, once you turn 40, it's kind of like I'm probably in the middle of my life. Like, pretty likely. Like, I probably will, perhaps have another 40 years ahead of me, and I've lived 40 years. Do I want to live the next 40 years with the same beliefs that I had the previous 40 years?
Yes.
Like, I don't. Yeah. And when you realize you have a choice in that, it's extremely freeing. Yes. So I think that you're absolutely right that there's this bit of like a crisis that happens, but then you kind of pull yourself together. And, everyone said that like once you turn 40, you're not going to give any fucks anymore. And I was just like, everyone was right. Like, this feels great.
Yeah, it does feel great.
Like I've read in the past couple of years, I've read so many self-help books. I am like, I have a therapist that I talk to every week that I love. Communication with my partner has never been better. It's just like, there's this whole thing that's just like, I don't want to live with these limiting beliefs anymore.
Yes.
And I think that, reading romance books and kind of learning about yourself or listening to audios, like it definitely helps with that mindset and that self-discovery and that self-care. So it's probably like an untraditional way of fixing your life, but
I love it.
I love it.
This message is sponsored by Greenlight. With school out, summer is the perfect time to teach our kids real-world money skills they'll use forever. Greenlight is a debit card and the #1 family finance and safety app used by millions of families, helping kids learn how to save, invest, and spend wisely. Parents can send their kids money and track their spending and saving, while kids build money confidence and skills in fun ways. Start your risk-free Greenlight trial today at greenlight.com/Spotify. That's greenlight.com/Spotify.
What a fun way.
What a fun way. Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna make the changes.
It's like, what are you going to do? Like, I mean, am I really going to go back and talk to everyone who ever said something mean to me? Or am I going to listen to, like, Naudio tell me I'm beautiful and not have to leave my house?
Like,
Thank you.
what,
Like, I know the answer.
What's a better way to spend 20 minutes? Is it arguing with people on social media?
Mm-hmm.
Or is it listening to men whimper and moan in your ear?
Yes. Because your pussy is so beautiful. Like, there was a lot of your pussy is beautiful in these, and I was like, okay,
is it? I'm starting to believe it.
I'm
starting to believe it. Yeah.
Like, if someone had said that to me in real life, like, I would start laughing so hard. I'm like, it's a body part, you fucking idiot. But then in this, I'm just like,
do I like this?
Is this beauty?
Is this beauty? Is it beauty?
I believe it. I believe it.
We touched on this, but there's so many things that are said in these stories that if someone said to me in real life, I would just explode laughing.
Yes.
I'd be like, who even are you?
Yes. I'm just like, get out of here. Like, I would like literally, like, there are things that are punchable. Like, I mean, not punchable, but like, you know.
Yeah. Like, if my husband ever like interrupted me while I was working and said that like I need to like get on my knees for him, I'd be like, all right, get out of here, buddy. Like, we're not.
Yeah, like, go.
We're not doing
yeah,
that.
go make me coffee.
Like, what are you even talking about? Like, go away. But
yeah,
like if
no.
if a non-fun says it, I'm like, oh okay. Yes, sir.
Yes,
no problem.
It works. It just goes to show you, like, I feel like that we need to change this narrative of like, okay, I think that like with that JD Vance tweet of it all, of just like being like, oh, there's sad women listening to blah blah blah, and it's like, no, you got to change the narrative, man. You need to meet the people who are actually reading this stuff, because like there are amazing like self-actualized people out there, and there's a wide variety of them, and like, yeah, so I love this audio erotica journey for you. I'm just like inspired. I just want to like listen to everything. I want to quit my job and just listen.
Oh my god, me too. Let's do it.
Yes, like start like a Siskel and Ebert, like kind of like 2 thumbs up thing review.
Oh my god,
and then moaning.
I would. I feel like I was kind of born for that type of job.
Yes.
Okay. And I'm excited for you too, because I think that they're like, for as much as I've listened and for as much as I've heard, I just know that like there's more. Pardon the phrasing, but there's more coming. Like there's more on the way for me to learn about, and it's, you know, it's like a never ending journey as long as you're still enjoying it and it's not, you know, messing up your life in any way, like, you know, any other.
But even if it is,
it's fine. It's
probably
fine.
Messing it up in a great way.
If you have to have an addiction, this is the addiction I'd choose. Oh my gosh,
I completely agree.
This is a joke for legal reasons.
No one.
I don't want people coming to me and be like, Mindy's joking about addiction.
No. The best addiction ever.
It would be though, yeah.
Yeah, it would be great. Well, Mindy, thank you so much for joining me again. This was so much fun to talk to you about this. Oh my god, so fun. I am gonna have to get you back on to get some more recs, because like I think I'm just going to subscribe to every single app. Like, you know what? I'm just going to do it. We should compare another 2 apps next time. We should. Yeah, that would be a lot of fun.
And it's funny. Like, we talked about, you know, like pick like 3 to listen to. And it took me so long to like narrow down. I like had a spreadsheet. I was just like, I was looking at tags and I was just like, I have to pick the best ones. I don't want to mess this up.
Yeah. And it was also hard for me because there were stories in some, like, you know, there's like some like, you know, stories that I'm like, I love that chapter, don't like that chapter, but I love this but that chapter. So I was like, oh, how do I narrow it down? But then I was just like, what am I listening to right now? What am I obsessed with right now?
Yeah.
going
No,
for
it was great. It was great. And like obviously for anyone who's listening, like if you have your favorites, please tell us. Wouldn't it be fun if like listeners gave us favorites to listen to and then we could talk about what we liked and didn't like about them?
Yes.
So if anyone has any
love that.
ideas,
please, yes, we
let
will
us
come back
know.
and we will review them and tell you like what we think, because this is, I think, like, you know, talking about it is like just like talking to you. Like now I've discovered Quinn. I'm like life changed, and so it's like talking about these things can help. You know, it's so good.
Yeah, and I mean, same with Dipsea. Like now I've discovered Dipsea, and I'm just like, okay, there's definitely like a mood for this, and I'm digging it. And I definitely would want, like, these apps are so rich with content. And I think that I love getting recommendations from people for like creators that I've never listened to or stories that I've never listened to. And so, yeah, feel free to drop your recs anywhere. So I can listen to them. Yay! Please. Thanks for having me back on.
Oh my God, thank you for coming back on. This was so fun.
This was way fun. Like I definitely, like when I talked about how I could talk about audio porn for a living, like I'm serious. So let's try to figure that out. How do we do that?
Let's manifest it. We'll be like audio porn.
It, yes.
Yeah. Audio porn commentators. You know, that has to be a thing. Like it we'll do it.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. To be continued.
I hope you enjoyed your TSTL with a little extra spice today. Too Stupid to Live is part of the Culture Media Network. Thank you so much for listening. And I mean this in a lovingly way. Have a cunty rest of your day. Ears?